found on page 15. So if you turn to page 15, I would like to ask Olivia Pereto from White Plains High School to please come up to the stage. And please welcome her to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olivia Garcia-Prado. I'm from White Plains, New York, and tomorrow I will be graduating from White Plains High School, where I earned the seal of Biliteracy. I earned seal of Biliteracy there in Mandarin, French, Italian, and Spanish, in addition to English. I will be majoring in linguistics and pursuing world language education while competing on the robotics team and participating in the performing arts this fall at Student Oswego. With my time at the White Plains City School District coming to a close, I've been reflecting on all the things I've done there that have led me to where I am now. And I have vivid memories of being part of the dual language program throughout my elementary school. And by the time 6th grade came around, I decided that I wanted to take a different language. And of course, my family being from Spain and being a part of the Hispanic community, of course my family wanted me to continue taking Spanish. But my mother, being a Spanish teacher herself, realized how important the opportunity was for me to be able to explore multiple languages, and she let me take the language I wanted to, and I started taking Chinese. And this class became super valuable and immediately became a favorite, and that stayed true throughout the entirety of middle school. And when I got to high school, I wanted to learn more. Despite not being able to learn anything over Zoom, as soon as sophomore year came around, I went to the Spanish club and I went to the French club, and even though I didn't know French at the time, I tried using my Spanish to read things and decode words, and actually tried to pick up as much as I could, which I was able to do a lot with the help from the teacher, Madame Sanz. And I ended up learning that I loved the mechanics of language, and I loved learning it. So, at the end of that year, I sat down with my guidance counselor, Ms. Diaz, and I asked that since I finished my science requirement, if I could take French. And she worked with me, and we messed with the schedule, and I ended up being able to take French 3 and Italian 3 my junior year. And through my participation in the symphony orchestra and the school musical, I had a lot of friends that were seniors. So I ended up going with a friend to the Seal of Biliteracy interest meeting, which is designed for seniors, as a junior. And there I learned all about the program. And right then, I decided that I wanted to do that. And I immediately started plotting the rest of my junior year. I was lying in wait, thinking about what I was going to talk about, what my presentation was going to be. So when my senior year came around, I did everything I could to take as many language classes. I ended up being able to take AP Chinese, AP Italian, and AP Spanish. AP French ran at the same time as AP Chinese, so I had to study outside of school, which I of course enjoyed doing. And I immediately hit the ground running with finding all my presentations and putting things together. And that time between the school year starting and the Seal of Biliteracy meeting was super important in being able to do as many as I did, because so much can go on beginning semester, senior year. So having the plan was really helpful. And by that point, growing up bilingual and learning so many languages had become a part of my identity. And the Seal of Biliteracy was really important to me because it was a tangible representation of not only how I saw everything around me, but the way that I saw myself. And learning a language and being multilingual is so much more than the ability to speak to others. It's so much more than just the ability to communicate. Language is the only tool that we have to really understand ourselves. It makes abstract things that we think and feel a reality. It's something that we can manipulate to best mirror what we feel. And the language we use is a reflection of ourselves and how we see ourselves. And my school supporting multilingualism by offering the Seal of Biliteracy program is not only extremely helpful in a practical sense with jobs and internships in college, but it also is really valuable in connecting students not only to their heritage, but their own identity as an individual. And the Seal of Biliteracy changes the way that people see multilingualism. It offers the perspective of it being an accomplishment. a skill to have rather than something that sets you apart from people around you. It makes it seem like something to strive towards. And many multilingual people, especially heritage speakers, can sometimes feel isolated by their multilingualism. But the seal of biliteracy changes that, and it changes the narrative that being a native speaker is a virtue. It changes that it's better to be native, and people that learn new languages are in some way inferior or in some way worse at expressing themselves. And that's an idea that a lot of monolingual communities often perpetuate, whether intentionally or not. The mere existence of a certification like the seal of biliteracy turns foreign accents from insecurity to a badge of honor that people wear to say, I can communicate. It erases the stigma around multilingualism being a handicap or people that are from other places being other in some way. Our thoughts and our feelings are limited by the language that we know to use to express them. So many people like me who are multilingual can grow to feel misunderstood or like they can't express themselves accurately or just have less control over how other people see them because of language barriers, which seems counterintuitive. The more languages someone speaks, surely the better they are at communicating. But oftentimes in monolingual communities especially, being bilingual and multilingual can be isolating. And this only speaks to the importance of normalizing multilingualism in a community and offering students the opportunity to learn another language, other languages that have fundamentally different ways of seeing the world, seeing time, even seeing counting systems. Everything being so different and being so unique is something that can resonate with someone and help them understand things around them. Being multilingual has been incredibly important in an internship that I participated in through my last quarter senior year. I was interning at Education First International School on the New York campus. And there I got the opportunity to connect and communicate with students from all over the world with so many different backgrounds. And on top of seeing, the technicalities of teaching another language and learning English, I also got to connect with students on a personal level and really deal with really small issues like laundry going missing or dorms not opening. So I got to learn a lot about people, just humans, and how people communicate non-verbally. And that showed me a lot about the psychology behind problem solving and communication in real time and in so many different ways. And this was so interesting when talking to students who I shared no language with, that I really had to rely on those nonverbal communications. And this new perspective, on top of being multilingual, has completely changed the way that I see other people. And it has taught me a level of grace and a level of empathy that I never thought would have been possible. The realm of possibility is only limited by the language we use to set up any barriers. With my seal of biliteracy and my time on an international campus giving me a deeply positive view of humanity, I've committed my future to sharing the importance of learning world languages, as well as the ability to communicate so people can express their thoughts and perspectives accurately, so they can feel secure that they're able to not only build a life where they can achieve what they think is important to them, but surrounded by people who validate their perspective while also challenging their ideas. People don't all have to speak the same language. There are going to be fewer language barriers around us. I want to dedicate my career to not only teaching world languages, but teaching about the mechanics of those languages so people can better understand languages they don't have to speak, while learning the ones that help them best express themselves. I plan to start by meeting people where they are, using languages they know, and using that to expand their perspective beyond just that language, beyond just that base system, and working to break down the barriers put in place by the language we use to set them. Thank you.